So guys, as you know, we had kind of a nerf for the Rafale. So I really wanted to talk a little bit about with you guys on the regards of, is the Rafale the best aircraft in the game, the best jet in top tier right now? Or did he lose to something else because of that nerf? So let's talk a little bit about that. We start off about the nerf itself. What was the actual nerf? Well, the main thing is that he lost sustained turn. That's the main thing about it, right? So with that, it means that the aircraft will turn less, technically, in a longer dogfight. Everything else is kind of the same. It lost a little bit of thrust as well, but it's very, very little. It's like 0.2 to 0.4 kind of kilonewtons of thrust in each engine, if I'm not mistaken. So it is not the most, like, the worst nerf ever, right? But we not only had that, we had the addition of a certain missile to top tier, which is the AIM-120C5, right? That missile increased the range of the AIM-120s and the ability of those missiles, missile carriers, right, to be able to hit BVR targets, right? It is an increase of around, what, 20-30% even, depending on the case. It's not something that it's absolutely game-changing, but you will feel that it has a very significant impact of longer range shots for these aircraft, okay? The F-15E, of course, the Eurofighter, and the F-18. So at the end of the day, not only we had Rafale being nerfed, but in the last patch we had the C5 being added to the counters of the Rafale, right? And if you flew a little bit of the Rafale, you will notice that the aircraft indeed was and is one of the easiest aircraft for you to actually fly in, right? It has an amazing radar, amazing short-range missiles. The only problem that it has is BVR capability due to the Mecha not having the greatest profiles of drag, right? Which means that it normally loses energy fast enough there that you normally cannot use the missile in a BVR arena like an AIM-120C5. But the thing is, the performance on the Rafale and climbing and accelerating makes the Mecha be usable on a 20 to 30 kilometer shot range. Even more if you climb enough. You can get kills from up to like 50 kilometers if you really climb, like 12, 13 kilometers, and if the target doesn't go defensive right away, right? So it's not like the nerf that we had is completely changing the Rafale, but you can feel the difference. The thing is that the Rafale lost mainly on what is the best feature of it, which is the short range, right? The short range stuff, the dogfighting, short range missiles, this is where the Rafale really shines, right? And that's why many consider this vehicle to be the best in the game. And that's where the nerf happened. So it means that it's still one of the best just because of that. It was already the best at that, basically in top tier. So now it is slightly worse, which means that normally you will see this aircraft having the same kind of idea in mind when you fly it, on how you should fly it, basically. You need to have that on how you should fly it, kind of, right? It's the same way as it was before. But there is kind of a thing that we need to talk about. With the addition of the AIM-120C5, specifically for the Eurofighter, I have a feeling that now we finally have more of a tie here. I honestly don't know which of these is the best, in my opinion. Because of the nerf and the addition of the C5, the best stuff that the Rafale had got a little bit nerfed, and the best stuff that the Eurofighter had got a little bit buffed. So the Eurofighter before, although he had the worst radar of the two, he had the better missile for BVR. Now he has an even better missile. And the Rafale that had the best performance to do short-range stuff, now it is a little bit worse at that, right? And it should be a little bit worse as well due to the climbing ability needing a lot of thrust on that regard as well, because it lost a little bit of thrust. So at the end of the day, it kind of is the difference that we had between the two, which, by the way, I mean, the two aircraft are the two ones that are the best aircraft in the game. So the choice between what is the best should be between the two, in my opinion, because they are the more complete aircraft out of all aircraft in the game, especially in top tier, of course. So the choice was already there between the two, but now we have kind of the line there going more towards the same, you know. They are basically tied in the top tier rank of what is the best. So you will have basically a choice here. So the Rafale, for example, yes, it has worse BVR, but it has the best radar, right? It does indeed have the best radar. It has way worse missiles for 50-kilometer range shots, but amazing missiles for short ranges, right? While the Eurofighter have a little bit more range on the missiles for BVR, but a worse radar. And missiles from short range that are not the greatest, at the same time that still has pretty much the same performance as the Rafale now. So the difference here is that the Rafale will still be amazing in a dogfight. It will still be slightly better in a sustained turn capability, but not by much. It's like a very, very slim. Before it was a little bit bigger, this margin. And it is going to be worse than the BVR, even though it has a better radar. So you will have better situational awareness, but worse capability to destroy those targets that you're detecting. At the same time, the Eurofighter now, because of the nerf of the Rafale, will be along the same lines of performance as the Rafale, having a little bit of a better situation, in some cases worse in others, but it will be around the same. And a better BVR capability, but worse in the dogfight because of the missiles. So it just has the A9s, right, which are worse for short range than the Magic 2. So at the end of the day, kind of difficult to say. You tell me in the comments what is the best aircraft in the game, because for me, I personally now will love to fly more on the Eurofighter, just because it has a better BVR missile. But the Rafale is still going to be, for me, tied up there with the Eurofighter. So for me, that's the case. It's not a clear winner over here. The Eurofighter is definitely got a boost, but it's not a big enough boost that it clearly wins this fight. So this is my opinion in a normal gameplay arena. Of course, 1v1s take a lot of the realistic feeling of a fight with these aircraft. So just consider that before leaving your comment. But do leave your comment down below. What do you think is the best jet in the game? The Rafale with its amazing short-range capability, or the Eurofighter with its amazing long-range capability? Which is the best for War Thunder right now and for the average player? Because, of course, always remember, each to their own abilities as well, right? Each player will have its own uniqueness in flying, which will make these aircraft be worse or better. Okay? So, let me know in the comments, leave a like, leave a comment, and thank you all the patrons and members. See you guys, bye.